third eyelid, you have a small crease at the corner of your eye that you've never noticed. But it's not a meaningless fold. That's a remnant of the third eyelid, a part that once helped your ancestors survive. In the past, animals needed a membrane to protect their eyes from dust, wind, and debris. Eagles use it to shield their eyes when diving at speeds of hundreds of kilometers per hour. Cats use it to protect their eyes when stalking prey or fighting. It's a natural windshield that evolution invented very early on. Humans once had their complete version. But over time, as the eye is better protected and the environment changes, this membrane degenerates into a tiny fold called the plica semilunaris. It's not moving anymore, can't cover the eyeballs. It's just the remnants of a once powerful defense mechanism. But here's something almost no one knows. The third eyelid is still active, just minimally. It helps guide tears back to their proper position, reduce irritation at the corners of the eyes, and prevent fine dust from accumulating in the eye socket, where the eyeball is most vulnerable. So why hasn't evolution completely eliminated it? Because it doesn't cause harm. And the small, it still performs a few tasks that the eye needs. Your third eyelid no longer covers your eyes like it used to, but it still serves as living proof that human eyes were once equipped to withstand a much harsher world, a feature that has been surpassed by time but has never completely disappeared. Appendix. Born with intestines, but the body also has an appendix. Something that seemed superfluous, just waiting to become inflamed and be cut out. But that's one of the biggest misconceptions about the human body, because hidden within that tiny intestinal tube is something that evolution intentionally preserved, a reservoir of beneficial bacteria, what science calls the microbiome vault. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors were constantly facing intestinal infections. Diarrhea can wipe out all the good bacteria in the digestive system. No medication, no probiotics, there's no way to restore that surviving microbiome. And here's something almost no one knows. When the microbiome is wiped out, the appendix activates. It releases the good bacteria safely stored inside, completely resetting the digestive system, like pressing a factory reset button, but specifically for the gut. That's why the appendix exists. It's not a design flaw, it's not a superfluous part, but rather it's a survival backup system, a mechanism that evolution hopes you'll never have to use, yet it becomes the ultimate support when everything in the body collapses. Tonsils. You always hear that tonsils only cause inflammation, fever, and often need to be removed. But that's just the surface. And the truth behind it is much more interesting. Tonsils are actually immune outposts. They are located right at the gateway to the body where everything you breathe in or swallow must pass through us. Air, dust, bacteria, virus. Everything is blocked here before going any deeper. Inside the tonsils are special immune cells. They identify strangers. They send warning signals. And they activate the immune system immediately. In young children whose immune systems are still developing, the tonsils are the first line of defense, where the body learns to distinguish what is dangerous. It doesn't stop there. Amidon doesn't just defend. They are also training grounds for the immune system. Every time you get sick, pathogens passing through your tonsils leave traces. The cells inside remember them, forming an immune memory, which helps the body respond faster in subsequent attacks. Without this training phase, your immune system would be weaker, slower, and more easily overwhelmed. So why do some people still need to have their tonsils removed? Because when overloaded or chronically inflamed, the tonsils no longer perform their defensive function. They became weaknesses that needed to be eliminated. But this doesn't negate their true role. The tonsils are not a useless part. They are the first line of defense, standing right in the most dangerous position, at the gateway to the body. A misunderstood survival feature, but one that kept our ancestors alive in a world 100 times more bacterial than today. Wisdom teeth. You must feel that wisdom teeth are very unnecessary, useless. It can't chew anything, but it causes pain. But that's not entirely true. Hidden behind that unpleasant tooth are advantages that most people have never heard of. Tens of thousands of years ago, our ancestors had to chew raw roots and undercooked meat. Broken teeth, worn teeth, it happens all the time. No dentist, no soft food. They have no protection other than their own bodies. And here's the biggest surprise. Wisdom teeth exist as a natural backup mechanism. A backup in case chewing teeth are damaged. If your molars lose function, your wisdom teeth will grow in late to replace them, ensuring you can still chew and survive. But the surprises didn't stop there. Even today, with softer foods and modern dentistry, the role of wisdom teeth has not disappeared. If you lose your teeth early, your wisdom teeth can shift, erupt, and take over the chewing function. Wisdom teeth can cause pain, infection, and sometimes need to be extracted, but they are not system errors. They are a survival feature that has been surpassed by time. An evolutionary legacy reminding you that your body was once designed to survive in a much harsher world. Coccyx. You think the coccyx is just a remnant of a tail that disappeared? A piece of extra bone serving no purpose other than causing excruciating pain every time I fall. But the body doesn't retain anything meaningless. And the coccyx is not useless at all. In reality, it still works every day, quietly and more importantly than you think. The coccyx is the anchoring point for a series of muscles and ligaments at the base of the body. The pelvic floor muscles, postural support muscles, ligaments holding the internal organs, all attached to that tiny piece of bone. It helps stabilize the center of gravity, maintain a stable standing position, and keep the lower organs from sagging. The coccyx also acts as a natural shock absorber. Every time you sit down, most of the pressure is concentrated at the base of your spine, and it's the coccyx that disperses force, reducing stress on the vertebrae above, like a shock absorber that evolution repurposed after the tail disappeared. In conclusion, the coccyx is a remnant of a tail. Yes, but not excessive. It still serves an important mechanical function, and you use it more than you think. Goosebump muscles. It looks useless. They're just small lumps. But it used to be a tool for survival. In ancient times, each hair on the body was like a small coat. When the erector pili muscles contract, the hairs stand up, trapping a layer of warm air close to the skin. That's a natural anti-cold mechanism that helps them avoid freezing to death in harsh environments. But this reflex also has another special role. When threatened, the erect fur makes the body look larger and more ferocious, just like how cats fluff up their fur when they're scared, a signal to warn predators that don't come near. And this is something almost no one notices. Even though humans no longer have a thick coat of fur to keep warm or intimidate, the goosebump reflex still works. It activates hair follicles, it checks the sympathetic nervous system, and it kicks in the alertness mechanism, making you more awake in an instant. That's why you get goosebumps when emotions run high, when you listen to music, or when old memories resurface. My body is still reacting as if something important is about to happen. Goosebump muscles can look funny, even meaningless, but it's an echo of an ancient survival system, a switch that remains there, waiting to be flipped whenever the body needs it. Ear muscles. Raising an eyebrow is easy, but try wiggling your ears. If you can do it, you belong to the 10 to 20% of the population who possess a strange ability. If not, don't worry. Your ears aren't damaged. It's just an ancient system that's been dormant. The auricular muscles, tiny bands of muscle connecting the outer ear to the scalp, were once our ancestors' survival radar. They helped them turn their ears toward the noise. Listen before you see, detecting predators from the bushes just like cats and dogs still do today. In modern humans, the ear muscles are hardly used anymore. We just need to turn our heads to hear better. But the surprise lies in the fact that these muscles haven't turned off yet. Even if you can't wiggle your ears, the ear muscles still react silently. When you try to listen in a crowded cafe, or when someone calls your name from afar, these tiny muscles create microscopic movements, turning your ears toward the sound. A hidden focus feature that the brain retains, even if you never realize it's working. So what about people who can wiggle their ears? They're not strange. They simply possess less degenerated neural maps, retaining some of their ancestors' ability to control their ears. Ear muscles may no longer rotate the ear like it did in the wild, but they are still pieces of an auditory system that once helped humanity survive. A hidden focus mechanism right under the skin, just waiting to be activated when needed. In conclusion, your body has no useless parts. Every detail, no matter how small, is a trace of how humanity learned to survive. If you want to explore other evolutionary secrets that no one has talked about yet, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment about the next part you want to decode. See you in the next video.